What's up, guys? It's your boy Darskin, and today we are going to be talking about should you invest in the Attack on Titan collab units, right? And this is basically saying, let's say you pull all of them, right? You have all 4 of them in your box. Should you invest in them? Who should you invest in? How much should you invest in? Etc. This, that, and the third. So we're going to be breaking down all of that for you guys, letting you guys know all the info on that. So if you guys if you guys are ready, let's go ahead and get right into it. So starting out, right, briefly going over the characters, and then talking about how good they are, or why they're good, or whatever the case may be. Eren, let's start on Eren. All right, so Eren, obviously green unit, obviously human, 240% attack, or percent attack to one enemy. Then it goes to what, 300, then it goes to 500. He's obviously got the same card as Green Escanor. Cool. Moving on to his second card, 120 AoE. 120 AoE disables ultimate move. In that rank 3, it's 180 disable ultimate move for 2 turns. His ultimate transforms him and gives him 10% HP defense and attack related stats for 5 turns. Keep in mind that once he transforms, he gets a new skill set. He also attack downs the enemy for 1 turn. Moving on to his new skill set, his first card is 180, 270, 450 Amplify, which the Amplify, he has 3 buffs. He has 3 buffs on right now, like base. He has 3 buffs once he's in this form. So he will always get 90% increase with those buffs. Moving on to his second card, 150 AoE. 150 AoE deplete 1 ult gauge. 250 AoE depletes 3 ult gauge, right? And then his ultimate, 840% damage to 1 enemy. Now, obviously, this damage goes up with dupes, and his how much stat boost he get goes up with dupes, right? Goes up by 5. So there you go. Now his passives, in human form, increases damage by 10% for each ult gauge. Nice. And then in Titan form, immune to ultimate move disabling effects. Okay, cool. Eren is he's not necessarily a bad unit, right? He's not necessarily bad, but the thing about it is he doesn't really have a place in anything. And what I mean by that is, there's not really any PvE content that he needs to be a part of. Yeah, you could use them in PvP, but you got to realize, especially on global, right? On JP, it's bad because Lost Vein Meliodas, but like on JP, you also got Fraudrin, you got Droll, you have units, and now Easton, you have units that can stop Lost Vein Meliodas from rushing ult, blah blah blah. Well, on global, we're in the meta of mono red. I mean, pin team as well, but mono red. And it's like with mono red being a thing, you got to realize not that many people are running mono red right now because not everybody has red Escanor. Once he gets in the shop, everybody's running mono red, bro. So it's like with us being in the meta of mono red, Green Eren doesn't really stand a chance. And it's like, I get it, right? Yeah, he gets buffed once he goes into his Titan form. Yes, his best team consists of Merlin, who is going to be an ult rusher for him, Gother and Arthur, who's going to be a buffer for him. None of that matters. If you die, you're dead, right? Mono red is going to one-shot him a lot of the time. So, I mean, it just goes like, what do? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, he's not super good when it comes to anything. Moving on to Blue Eren, which is SR Eren. I'm not going to talk about him too much. I mean, he's literally just like he's an SR, right? You can use him in stuff. He's not really used in anything. What I will say is, you can definitely use him in like Red Demon. His boost is pretty nice. And then his ult's going to be maxed because he's an SR. On top of pretty good multipliers. Not too bad. So highest multipliers in the game would be 240, 360, 600. His are well, this said what? This is 240, 360, 600, and this is 240, 300. This one's 360, so like 60% increase, then 100% increase. But you gotta keep in mind he's an SR, but he does have a boost. So I mean, it just goes with the territory. His passive doesn't really matter, but yeah. So like, he's not super good when it comes to anything. So there's that. Now, moving on to Mikasa. Blue unit, obviously a human. Inflicts damage equal to 130% of attack to one enemy. Makes target bleed. Inflicts damage equal to 195% of attack to one enemy. Makes target bleed. 325 makes target bleed. Now, moving on to this right here. I'll win no matter what. Inflict secret technique damage equal to 80%, 120%, or 200% to all enemies. Secret technique being increase damage by 20% per card of Mikasa's in hand. So if you have 2 cards in hand when you use this card, you'll get 40% increase, which is super nice, super nice. Moving on to her ultimate. Increase base stats by 50% for 3 turns, 420% damage. Then her passive, for each other ally that receives damage when attacked, increase the hero's stats by 3%. So the thing about Mikasa is she becomes insanely good in longer fights. This passive applies to all stats. It's not just base stats. Every single stat goes up by 30%. All of them. Pierce rate, resistance, regeneration, crit chance, all that. It goes up by 30%. So she becomes really, really good if she can stack her passive. So depending on if there's AoEs or whatever the case may be, you could definitely start stacking your passive up with really, really nicely. Now, like I said, her best team is going to be Raw Ult Rush, Gother, King, Merlin, just so she can get her ult as fast as possible, proc that ult, get her damage off, etc. Not to mention King with UR gear, HP defense, super tanky, and his passive on top of Gother. Naturally has high defensive related stats, and his HP defense gear is going to be super tanky. They're going to be able to sustain the damage that needs to be done for her to get her passive going. On top of Merlin in the 4th slot is going to have the HP defense set as well if you need her to come out and tank some damage. So super, super good when it comes to that. She, like I said, she's good in prolonged fights. Granted, there's not that many things that are going to be prolonged in this game. PvP is not going to be really prolonged. Not to say she's not good in PvP. People attack a lot, so she can debatably, depending on what happens. But yeah, she is very good when it comes to prolonged fights. She's going to be super good when it comes to the Attack on Titan Colossal raid, I believe, simply because of how her passive works and her ultimate works with the game. I'm going to be testing all the units out, seeing who's better, seeing what's better, blah, blah, blah. So definitely stay tuned for all of that. I'll let you guys know. Now, moving on to the last character, Levi. Levi is debatably the best character out of this collab. I know a lot of people think Mikasa Sleeper OP. I do too after looking over the facts and the stats and the info, but I still believe Levi is the best character just because of how he works and how he doesn't need anybody to do what he needs to do. He can just do it all by himself. Obviously 160, 240, 400%. Spike, he's going to crit. With his passive, he is guaranteed to crit. So Spike is really good on top of the AoE, which is going to be healing him up. His ult, decent damage. He's going to be critting. Levi is just all around, in my opinion, I think one of the better units when it comes to this. I feel like he's really good when it comes to geared. He even works in ungeared because of his crits and stuff. Now, which characters do I think you should work on? Do I think you should work on any of them? Let's say for the sake of the video, you have every single character, all 4 of them. The only character I really think you should invest in is Levi. I'm gonna be 100. And I know a lot of you guys love Levi, so you're welcome. I feel like he is just the best case scenario. You could definitely run him on mono red, run him on humans, blah blah blah, run him on pin team. You can run him on ult rush if you want to. I feel like he's just the best all-around character when it comes to the game. He doesn't have any limited things holding him back. Now, I'm going to obviously invest in all of them for content, for videos and stuff like that, but I'm gonna have video coming out why Aaron's like mechanic is not that good. I'm gonna have a video on Mikasa too, talking about why she's so good, or as like a lot better than people think. Levi's not super crazy. Like, don't think he's just like amazing. Levi is definitely good, man. He's definitely good. Do I think he's top tier? That's getting a little over our heads. But Levi is definitely the only one out of the 4 I would hardly suggest investing to when it comes to collab units. I mean, like 60, 80, getting cosmetics, blah blah blah. Now, you can do this for whoever you want. I'm not your parent. Do what you want to do. But as far as who you should invest in, I think Levi would debatably be the only one. Okay, he does the exact same thing Zeldris does as far as skills. Zeldris is used in a lot of comps when it comes to JP, and Levi's going to be giving you the same exact thing. So, anyways, that's going to be it for this video. Be sure to give it a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Comment down below. Tell me what you guys think in the comment section below. With that being said, I will see you guys next time. Peace.